So what really went on with BobDoesSports and Good, and why aren't they coming to the Good tournament? What information do we have? What do we know behind the scenes? That's what we're going to discuss today. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys appreciate this content. 70+% of you guys watching aren't subscribed. I know these videos go out to a lot of people, but a lot of the time they get recommended to you and you just don't know. You're just so used to clicking on them and you don't realize you're not subscribed. So if you do enjoy them, just hit that button for me. It means a lot. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a great weekend. Part 2 of the GM Golf and Grant match is playing behind me here. This is obviously the part that came out on Grant's channel, which in 4 days is already at 1 million+ views, which is super cool. Usually part 2s do significantly worse than part 1s, but this one is on pace to be pretty similar. I still think it'll finish probably a little lower. Again, that's just the nature of these things, but there's a lot on the line. People actually wanted to see how this match ended, and so the part 2 actually held some weight to it. So very interested to see how that one plays out, but that is what's going on behind me. YouTube golf news, there's not a whole lot around the community that's happened right now, but there's a lot to do with Good, and that's why we're talking about them so much in this video. So the official list for the Desert Open February 7th down in Arizona is now out. Also, tickets are on sale for that event. I'll link the ticket link down below. So many people had been asking me when these were going to go on sale. They're on sale, and at the point of recording this video Sunday morning, there were still plenty of tickets available. So or by plenty I mean I put in 2 and it allowed me to have 2. So I don't know about plenty, but there's tickets you can buy at this point in time. You can go buy tickets. Maybe by the time you're seeing this it's sold out, I don't know, but I think by the time, anyway, all right, you get it. Let's go through the list real quick. Okay, so this is the official list that Good posted. Obviously Short Game had sort of a leaked version of it, I guess, but this is all the names as they actually are. So Garrett Clark, Grant Horvat, obviously that is an absolute massive name we are looking forward to seeing here. Really, this tournament is made possible by the fact that Grant and Micah are coming, in my opinion. Like, we'll get to that in a second, but the tournament would have been great and whatever, but like the hype around it, the fact that these two guys are coming back and it's the Good reunion, like that is, I think, the thing with this one. Like, other than the fact that it's first broadcast and it's at night and it's all that, yeah, great, very exciting. But as far as just like that extra little push that really just gives it that edge that makes people want to tune in, the fact that Grant and Garrett are teaming up, and the fact that Micah is coming back playing with Matt. Right now, Matt, Micah, and Grant are together. I don't know where. I think in Florida. You keep seeing Instagram stories about it. So that's huge. Anyways, I'm going to fire through these. Ben Haddon and Mac Boucher. That's one I'm excited about. Obviously, Ben, stud, really good golfer. Mac, really funny guy I personally like. Canadian. Getting Busted Jack in there, I mean, I don't think Good had to do a lot together, but the fact that Busted Jack is there, that's cool. They've never collabed. I have no idea why Good and Busted Jack, even the fact why like none of the Good guys have gone on Busted Jack's channel, I don't know. They live in the same area. You would think something like this would have happened. So maybe this can open the door to some future collaborations. Again, I'm just breezing through this list. Frankie Borelli and Trent Ryan, Matt Sharp, Michael Morris, that's a big one. DOD and Martin Bomberger, the long drive guy. Listen, Dodd going is very interesting because obviously him and Steven have that back and forth. So maybe there'll be something. I'm going to try to definitely poke the bear a little bit and get those guys to play that $10,000 match. I don't think they're going to do it at this event, but you never know. It'd be very interesting, and I'll be there filming behind the scenes, so you know, maybe I'll get some inside info for you guys. Anyways, flashing through Luke Kwan and Sean Walsh. Obviously this is a group that's talked about as like, I think they're very much gonna have a chance to win. The list that Mr. Short Game put out had, I think, Nadeshot and Dr. Disrespect playing together. Now it's Nadeshot and TBD, so I don't know if Disrespect was like leaked, wasn't supposed to come out, or if he just changed his mind, he's not going, and Nadeshot's trying to find a partner. Steven and Brad, Paige Sporanic, that's pretty fun, and her partner Kaylin Henderson, don't know who that is. Brian Bros, Haley Alstrom, Sarah Wintour, those are two obviously female YouTube golfers, so that's kind of good for the space. Peter Finch and Trotty is pretty fun, and the one that just jumped out to me, the last name on this list, Ryan Sheckler. I messaged my sources at Good last night. I just said, is that the Ryan Sheckler? Like Ryan Sheckler, skateboard Ryan Sheckler? And they said, yep. I said, wow. So Ryan Sheckler, the skateboarder, is just going to be at this Good tournament. It's very interesting. There's obviously a couple like crossover, like semi-celebrities here, but I mean, it's just great. Good for YouTube golf. So many famous people like to golf, so it's obviously going to be crossovers at some point, but the fact they're coming to this tournament is great. So anyways, that's the list as it stands right now. But obviously, two big notable names. Rick Shields, we're not going to talk about that. We've already talked about that. BobDoesSports, we kind of hinted at it, but I've done some digging. And I'm here to talk about that situation and give some perspective and give some opinions. So, number one, it sucks. It sucks that they're not on this list. From everything I've heard, all my sources, there has been really no communication at all about why. Like none. Like no explanations, no reasons, no communication at all. And I don't want to put fault in that to anyone particular. Like, I don't think it's BobDoesSports' fault necessarily for not reaching out about being part or not being part of this event, because they theoretically have no obligation to it. I don't think it's necessarily Good's fault. I mean, again, maybe they can reach out. I don't know if they had reached out to BobDoesSports and just hadn't heard anything back. But again, from what I'm hearing, inside sources, there's just been no communication. So what does that mean? Why is that happening? I mean, there's a couple different explanations for it. And number one is you can go down the very like negative, cynical explanation, which is like they just don't want to give Good the clout. We kind of touched on this a little bit in the last video. Like, the fact that the three biggest entities in YouTube golf right now, which I think you have to put an asterisk next to Grant, because Grant is really pretty much on par with all these people, if not beating them, usually in per video views. But anyway, you have Good, you have Rich Shields, and you have BobDoesSports, three biggest entities. One of them is hosting really what is, and I know, I'm, I wear the Good apparel because they sponsor me, but listen, this is groundbreaking for YouTube golf. This is, like, you can't deny that. Like, they are hosting a live streamed event with NBC production. You know what NBC is? That's like the PGA Tour. That's a broadcast channel that your grandparent would have 3 channels on their TV. That's one of the channels. Like, NBC is heritage. NBC is like reaching YouTube golf outside of YouTube golf. It's going to be on Peacock. Like, this is absolutely massive. And they're doing it in a way that's going to be a spectacle. It's lit. It's night golf. It's like they are doing something that is groundbreaking. And so because of that, because one of our big entities in YouTube golf is doing something that's this groundbreaking that none of these entities have ever done anything even close to, and both those entities just aren't going to the event. Rick with a reason, which is, a fair reason as just like a human being, as, again, I kind of made this analogy in the last one. Good is not Tiger Woods, but if Tiger Woods was like, hey, come play medalist on this exact same date, the plans would change. So it's like still a touch disappointing, but I understand. And then there's BobDoesSports, which at this current moment, number one, no reason. They haven't talked about it publicly. But also, like, BobDoesSports is going to be at Waste Management. Like, they have to be. Like, I don't know. I haven't confirmed that with them, but I'd say there's about a 0.01% chance they're not at Waste Management. BobDoesSports is Waste Management. Waste Management is the only golf tournament that is BobDoesSports, that represents BobDoesSports. So you would think that they for sure would be there. They were there this week. They actually played at the grass clippings course this week, posted about it on their social. I don't know why, but they were down in Phoenix, I think, to promote like collaborative merch with Breezy or something like that. So I think there's just no chance they're not at Waste Management. So they're already going to be there. And this is an event that's going to take, 3 hours. Like, the schedule time, I think, is like the gates open at 4. I think play starts at like 6 or 7 and is done by like 9 or 10. Like, why aren't you going to be there? You're already going to be there. So why aren't you going to be there? So listen, the fact there's no communication or explanation yet, it tells me one of two things. Either one, they just definitely aren't going and they just don't care, and there's nothing that's going to be public about it, and it's just going to be like this awkward thing that kind of gets swept under the rug. Or number two, they're kind of just like, well, yeah, we'll figure it out. Like, they're kind of just lackadaisical with it, and they kind of get to be, because they're one of the biggest groups. And that if they message Good like the week of, and they're like, hey, yeah, no, we're actually free that night. Turns out, like, yeah, we'll come play as a 3-man scramble. I mean, Good's not going to say no. I would be very surprised if Good was just like, no. So that could be the other possibility. They could be waiting for some last minute. I don't think it's intentional. I think I would have been told if it was intentional. I don't think it's intentional. But there could be a chance that they come in as kind of like a last minute surprise. But I don't know, man. It's kind of tough. I really am starting to believe that there may never be an event. And I'm usually a very optimistic person. This is a semi-cynical take, but I'm starting to believe that there may never be an event that like everyone gets to, I think unless there's like some like live golf style monetary incentive, like literally like a guaranteed $1 million per team or individual channel that just shows up. All you have to do is show up, you get $1 million cash in your pocket. Like, unless something like that happens, which seems way too unrealistic, like the melding of schedules, it sounds bad, but like the clout sharing of like, well, this is his event, not my event, their event, this event, da, 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 da. All these entities are trying to host these events now, these live events, whatever. Like, I just think there's gonna be hurdles, and I don't know if I ever see, like, even if Rick does host the YouTube Masters, like, is everyone gonna go? I don't know. I would hope so. I hope that this event kicks off a massive like push and excitement behind this style of thing. It pushes YouTube golf outside of just our YouTube ecosystem. It grows it. It brings in brands. It brings in sponsors. It brings in broadcast partners. And it brings in opportunities for more of these to happen. And this ship continues to rise. But this Good event is going to be incredible no matter what. I fully am excited for it. I believe it. I think there's enough pull from creators. Thankfully, again, being able to get Brian Bros, Busted Jack, Micah, Grant, like it's all the big dogs except BDS and Rick Shields. And I think BDS, you still kind of have to put a bit of an asterisk beside because they could be a last minute addition. I hope they're a last minute addition. I want to turn you guys to BDS to be like, you got to get in this tournament. Do it. Because it'd be really cool. It'd be really cool for the community. I don't think it would make a huge difference in the actual broadcast because there's so many people that are going to be there, but I just think it's just a good thing for our community, right? And then hopefully like Good will return the favor one day if BobDoesSports is hosting something, you know, be a part of it and build hype for it. So anyways, guys, that's my take on it. I've gotten so many questions about BobDoesSports and why they aren't there and why they aren't on the list now that the official list has come out. So I figured I'd brief it for you, ramble on a little bit about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. Enjoy the rest of divisional weekend. I know that's what I'm coming to do next. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.